Alright, is my mic working? Sweet. Everything appears to be working. Alright. Alright, so I skipped Friday's stream since it was a holiday. Not that we missed much of anything. All I've really done is just make things a little more pretty with our current factories, so not a whole lot has been missed. Now that all of that's over, we got the Thickness factory taken care of and built up. Now we can work our way over to the Spacey location. This is gonna be a short stream today. Won't be very long. As late as I showed up today, I had a lot of stuff going on. Alright, so if I remember right, when we last left this off, we had just brought power over to the location and set up oil production. Well, not necessarily oil production, but we did set up oil extraction. And we're going to take the long way around so I have time to think. So we set up oil extraction. We did a couple of blueprints. Made things a little spiffy so far. We've unlocked everything in the MAM that we can unlock. We've unlocked everything in the hub until we progress the space elevator, so we're kind of done there. We've automated all of the parts available to us, which is great. We have everything in the awesome shop. We've automated all of the Figma stuff. The only stuff I didn't automate was the fireworks, but I'm not really interested in the fireworks, so we're just going to ignore those. Yeah, I think we've just about got it. This is all we can do now, is just move on from here, or just like make our previous factories pretty, which I've been kind of doing offline. It's not a huge deal. I think this is as far as I can take this. Okay. We got all that. The only thing I can really add would be, like, to these poles would be to add some street lights. Eh, I'll think on it. Maybe add them lower. Yeah, alright, that's not bad. Okay. Water is really deep here. Is there a bottom? Yes, there is a bottom. Okay. It's just absurdly deep on this side, but there is a bottom at least, so I don't have to worry about falling outside of the world. Unless it's a false bottom. Okay, so all of these are hooked up like they're supposed to. I have power, right? I have power here. Yes, I do. Okay, sweet. But this is in my way now. I need to get rid of this stand. Work. Okay, so this is gonna be my center for my oil production. Alright, so this is my center, and this is going to be my center, so my oil pipelines are going to come through here. Yeah, so they go right through here, and they go along both these routes, and then get routed to their respective areas. If I can, I'm going to set it up so that each one is consuming, each line of machines is consuming 300, because that would make it way easier. So let's see what we got here. We're doing not residual rubber, not recycled. We're doing where is it? Heavy oil residue. That's what we're doing. Okay, so it'd be 10 machines on each line is what it would be. Okay. So I'd have 5 machine lines this way and 3 machine lines that way. So it's not, it is going to be asymmetrical. That's perfectly fine. Kinda because it has to be, but whatever. We're going to leave that just like that. I think that's where I want it. That should do. But I'm going to space these machines out. I'm not going to stack them on top of each other. Okay. How many do I need here? I got 2,700 coming in, right? 90. I am placing 90 machines. Okay, I am making a blueprint. This doesn't make any sense. Why does it say so little? Looking at my spreadsheet. Oh, it says so little because I removed plastic and rubber from the oil products line. Okay. So it's telling me I only need... Okay. We got 27. That's 90 machines. Jesus. Please. Please tell me I can fit one of these in here. Oh, thank God. Oil pipes go in. These go up and out. Now I want it tighter than that. This is going to be a big factor because I don't want to use power shards. I don't have a lot of power shards. So I'm going to try to not use them for this project. Power hookups. Now, we're building this Oh, God. I don't want to do this. Alright, so that would go in there like that. And then proceed to go down the line. Now, it looks like I might be able to move it closer. Yes. So it would be like that. Because, yes, while I can go in there like that, this allows me to mirror it on the other side and plug them in. Because on the other side, it'll be a straight shot. Okay. So we're not going to plug it in any more than that. It'll be just like that. We're not going to put any floor panels. I'm just going to leave the machine just like that, and then I can run through and I can connect them. I could easily, if I scooted this over, I could fit more machines on here, on this blueprint. Okay. Not by much, though. Named it 3. I don't know why that just captured a clip, but whatever. Actually, no, because these are going to be in 300s. I don't need that. Okay. Now we take the foundation blocks out. Hey, Delta. Take the floor out. Make sure these are programmed for heavy oil. Awesome. They're all connected. Okay. Add category. Spacy. Wheel. Add blueprint here. Now we clear. Actually, no. Now we adjust. Say left. Put this in spacy, add it there. Save. Blueprints. Go here. There we go. Yeah, clear designer. Delete designer. Remove this bullshit. How did I get that wrong? I could have sworn I had it right. Back to the designer. I don't like that. That's pipeline. Yeah. Okay. I did have it wrong. Okay. Whoops. Now I should be able to do it. That right there. Let's scooch this over. I don't want it right here. I don't want it right there. I want it right here. Because that gives me plenty of room to maneuver my pipe. Alright. Oh. Okay. It's showing me the outline for the refinery, not for the blueprint. Alright. 9. It's 12. I don't need 12. Okay. That's 10. $80 more to go. Now we're going to flip this left. And I want this last one to be standing right here. Perfect. And then I want it right there, probably? Yes. Let's see how we have this. Okay. Yeah, it's lining up just like I want it to. Cool. I have them named wrong, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. Technically not, actually. This is the machine on the left side of here. It's just all on the right side of here. Oh god. Where'd my guideline go? It decided to line up with the machine in the back instead of the machine in the side. Awesome. Alright. And that should be that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now we just trim this off. Alright, that's 20. I'm gonna have 9 rows of 10. 4 of those rows are this way. So this first one comes right here. We're gonna do it right there. And let those two come out to both those. Okay. There we go. And 600 becomes 2 300s. Beautiful. All right. Now, how do I want the roof of this to go? Because this is just slightly too high. I think, no, it still clips through the pipe. I don't know, I'll have to worry about that later. This is just the first step. Oh my god, I can't even do this properly either. Because I can't use my recycled rubber recipe. I can't use my plastic. I can't use my byproduct recycler without diluted fuel, and I don't get diluted fuel until I get blenders, and I don't get blenders until I progress the elevator. God damn it. It's fine. I'm just gonna keep building as is. I'll figure it out as I go. This actually works out perfectly like this. Nice and squished in. It loads up properly. Now, I've got 90 machines pumping out 20. That's 1,800. That's 2 Mark 6 belts, but I'm not going to have those for a minute. So we're going to go ahead and just do Mark 5 belts. So that's going to be 3 belts running at 600. So every bank of 30 machines is a new belt. That's good because I'm going to have 20 machines in each one. Okay. It's 20 times 20, it's 400, okay. That's fine. Oh right, I didn't connect any of those piping, but I wanna do this real quick. Oh shit. Just put a belt through it. And just call it good. That's what I'll do. And then at the end of this line, I will do a merger. Now, do I want to bring my poly back this way? I could. I only need 3 belts. I'll have to do some merging and stuff, though. Maybe I will bring my poly back the other direction. Yeah, I'll bring the poly back this direction instead of that way. I'll bring the poly down here, and then I'll scoot it over to here to do my residual rubber recipe. Which means I'll put water for that over here. This resource is plenty deep enough for that. Oh yeah, there should be no issues with placing water extractors here. Right? Oh hell yeah. Sweet. Alright, let's hook these up to power before I forget again. Where are these Mark IIs? Yeah, whatever. Because they need to be, because each one of these pipes runs at 400. That's why they're Mark IIs. And they're going to split off into 2 pipes of heavy oil, of fuel running at 400 is what they're going to do. I'm going to have so many pipes, my god. Hey, Roy. How's it going? This is 10, right? I'm not being stupid. Okay, I'm not being stupid. I'm using the wrong recipe. It's this one. And scooched. Alright, that's the last run on this side. It's okay, Scrap. Just relax. Just the neighbors taking their trash out. Nothing else is going on. Okay. These pipes are hooked up. This is as far this way as this is going. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these foundation blocks because they don't need to be here. This is officially the end of my factory side on this one, on this end. Yeah. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this ledge for now. I might delete that later, but for right now, it's gonna stay there. Okay. Things are getting compacted here. Ah, crap. I'm building too fast. As many more as these as I'm gonna have to place, as many pipes as I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna make a run back to my base while those boxes refill, and I'm going to get me some copper sheeting. I only have 20 copper sheeting per minute being produced. I never expanded my copper facility. Considering it just feeds the depot, that's really all I need it for. Boop. Oh no, this is the right way. Okay. Been a minute since I drove the truck. Let's see if they fixed the physics. My gut says no, so I'm gonna drive carefully, but we'll see. Why am I taking the truck? I don't have that much crap stored for this. May want to take the truck, you know, back after filling up on some resource, like some concrete and some iron plates and some copper sheeting. I think it's only the big three I need. Everything else I can just kind of take as needed from the dimensional depot. I don't even think I'm gonna really need the plates or the concrete, to be honest. I think I just need to grab a shitload of sheeting, so I'll just pick up my entire tub of it. And we're back. Yeah, I only have 20 per minute coming out for this. Okay, now I increased this thing's production by a ton for the sake of my glorious Ficmus factory, and now I don't need that. Let's see, I originally made this for a Mark 1. We're just gonna do this. I really don't need wire production. I need sheets. Shitloads of sheets. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I get the feeling I'm gonna need cable at some point, so we're gonna go ahead and I'll just go ahead and shard all of it. I'm almost done with it. I really don't need wire that bad. 60 wire a minute is perfectly acceptable. Now I'm getting 75 cable a minute too. Okay. Let's reduce that to 60. I don't need that. Now this is taking 120. Yep. Okay. Now I'm having 100 per minute come out. Sweet. Oh man. Oh, I put the depots beside them. Okay. Good enough. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of sheeting. Not so much for the wire and cable, though. Now I'm gonna go ahead and empty out my inventory of stuff here. Why do I have so many frames? Why is that not equipped? I don't need explosive. I don't need this either. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's garbage. I don't need this anymore. That goes in there. Okay. Let's grab some concrete and some iron plates. Perfect. Okay. Let's go for a drive. Why do I have so many pings? Okay. Now I've got plenty of material for this. Get back to it. It was left I was getting, right? Oh, crap. I didn't think about this. Oh, you know what? I have 5 extra slots. Damn. Alright. That's all I needed. Okay. Cool. It's 50. I need 4 more rows. Yeah, we're gonna move that slightly back because I might put a wall through here. And if I put a wall through here, then I'm gonna need a wall port. Okay. Now back to placing these. Those are straight. I placed these wrong, didn't I? Oh no, I placed them right. Okay. Might have to go farther. That takes care of that. There's my last 4 rows. Spaced out. Actually, I might have taken it too far. Maybe not. go. I did take it too far. I took it one row too far. Alright. Nice and clean so far. Simple pipe work. Simple pipe work is best pipe work. Let's expand this. And last one. Actually, because residual rubber's going right here, so we're going to leave this platform right here. This is where I'm going to do my residual rubber. I decided that a while ago. Now, residual rubber. I need to burn off all of my polymer plastics. My polymer resins. Just running this into residual rubber. That's 40. 1800. Exactly half of the machines I have now. Oh my god. So another 4.5 rows. I'm definitely going to be building a blueprint. Which means I'm also going to be expanding this. God, I hope I picked this right. I'm going to be really mad if I just barely got this wrong. Okay, now I'm going to need a little extra space right here. That's going right here, just directly in. But I want extra space on here, so we're not going to make this one aiming this way. Maybe if 5 lines. We're going to bring it back, probably. I just need to get spacing done right now. I'm not worried too much about efficiency. I just want to hit my minimum spacing in. Oh, right. Because I have dual inputs and a single output now. I need to flip this, I think. No, I should be fine. Yeah, I should be more than fine. Oh yeah, there's plenty of room here. I just run the splitter right through the middle here. And just do the exact opposite for the input. One goes sideways, one goes straight. I am. Alright. Which means I don't need to give this much spacing for this way, but I'm going to do it anyway to keep it uniform. That's 4. Can I squeeze one more line on here? I think this is going to be really tight. That is as far over as I can take it. Yep, that's as far over as I can take it. I'm either going to make it or I'm not. Oh my god, I'm going to just barely make it. Holy shit. It barely goes over right here, so I will have to go up. And then across. Then we're gonna get rid of the fart rocks. Fart rocks disabled. Okay. Unless I want to do a fancy way where I routed it across. I do have the space for it, so what I could do is route the rubber through here at the bottom, which means I can move this even closer to this. Route the rubber through the bottom, put a second floor with the polymer resin coming through across the front of it. That allows me to squish them more, because then I just got a single water pipe running underneath. I could get it way more compact if I wanted to. I have almost perfect spacing. So worst case scenario is to do it like that. Alright, what we're going to do then is we're going to pop down the rest of these and then bring out the blue printer and see if I can squeeze 2 of those in there. If I had a Mark III, I could do it no problem, but that's next phase. Crap, I didn't think about getting more motors. Oh, man. Well, hopefully I've got enough for this. I don't think I'm gonna, though. I love nudging. Alright, one more row. Last placement for the heavy oil. Okay. There we go. Heavy oil factories are placed. Not bad. I've had much bigger, so this is okay. Now, pollen resin factories are going to go this way. Maybe I will get lucky. Nope. I'm not going to get that lucky. Okay. That's center of one. That's center of two. That's center of another. Alright, so we place it. Now, I don't have a whole lot of room here, so what we're going to do is wrap it this way. Like so. Actually, no, I'm doing it wrong. I need to do this with multiple machines. That's too far over. So we'll do it just like we did before. Alright, so that goes here. That goes like that. That goes like this. I believe 40 becomes 20, right? Yeah. So I'm going even lower than this, so I'll have 900 rubber to play with when this is done. Correct? Oil recycler. Uh... Oh. I'm doing the stupid thing again. No, I'm not. Petroleum coke comes from heavy crude oil, heavy oil residue. Yeah, so I am converting all of my crude oil into heavy oil residue. I'm doing it right, alright. And then a section of my heavy oil residue gets turned into petroleum coke, and then the rest of it gets turned into fuel. And then a section of my fuel gets turned into recycled rubber and recycled plastic, respectively. And a section of my fuel goes off to make turbo fuel. Okay. So now I just gotta figure out how I'm placing all this. That's fine. Alright, so we place that. This means that I can combine them down into 2 belts. So... it goes like this. What the hell? Why are you doing this? Oh, I got it wrong. It's a splitter. Okay, just like that. No clipping whatsoever. This gives me plenty of room for that. Now, here's the thing though. I've got 4... I got 3 belts and some change here. 3 belts running at 600. Going into 45 machines. So what I'll do is I'll run the 3 belts. Yeah, I'll run the 3 belts through 10 machines, and then I'll run the 3 belts over into 5 machines each, dead ending them each into 15 machines. Okay. So really what I'm doing here is 3 lines of 15 instead of 4.5 lines. So that solves that problem, the clearance issue that I have. If I just go ahead and put 3 in this combo instead. Okay. Good boy. Get that shit off of that one. Residual rubber. We're gonna go ahead and paint this blue like water, because it's consuming polymer resin. It's producing rubber though, and I'm coloring it to color productions. So this should be black actually. Okay, so since these are only going into a single row of machines and not going side by side, I don't need to worry about like that. Now, this rubber is being consumed, right? What if I double it back? Polymer resin comes from this side, runs through these machines in this direction. Rubber then comes back on the other side and runs out, and then comes out and does what it needs to do. My heavy oil residue is coming out here, and running over here to do polymer, not polymer, to do petroleum coke, and then also running through here in this general area to do fuel. My brain just isn't working today. I don't have enough caffeine firing. Okay. How much coke do I need? Said Charlie Sheen. Okay, let's see here. $2,631.69 lumps of coke. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's how much I need. Rounded it up to 2,640. That's 880 oil residue. It's 2 lines and some change. Damn. That's why I did it. 22 machines. Okay. Did I overclock them? $300 per minute. I don't like it. We're not overclocking it. Yeah, I could cut it down into 11, but just leave it as 22. I've got plenty of room. So 22 machines. I need to make room for my turbo fuel facility, which is going to be over here, I think. So we'll bring petroleum coke over here because my coke is going to be used for... God, what was my coke going to be used for? Steel ingots? Most of it is used for steel ingots. Where does the rest of my coke go? Oh no. Uh, crap. Oh, aluminum ingots. Okay. Yeah, I'm using the electrode scrap recipe. So I do need coke on this side then. Because that is where my aluminum plant is going. Since my aluminum plant is going right here on this other side of this little island, I'm going to go ahead and put my coke right here. And then I'll put it like right here in this general area. And then I can run a belt across the island right in front of it. Because this is going to be my sloppy aluminum production where I turn all my bauxite into aluminum. And then the next part into alumina solution. And then the next part is going to be where I'm mixing for my scrap. So I'll take all of my alumina solution and then turn it in with my coke to make my aluminum scrap. And then I'll probably do my ingots right here, something like that, or right over there. Oof. Running out of room here. As for that rubber is going into my recycler, which, okay, so I'm not going to run my rubber back. I'm not, because it'll be in my way. This rubber is going to go this way, and then it's going to come out this way because it's got to mix with my fuel. So I'll put my rubber recycler right here. My fuel production isn't going to take much because it's all blenders that have a pretty good output. Yeah, I only need... No, that's wrong. I need more than 12 blenders. I know I do. 880... Ah, jeez. Okay, hard math time. 3,600. I have 2720. 5440. 55 blenders is how many blenders I need. That's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. A lot bigger than my math says, anyway. Okay. And that's just that. And then a good chunk of that fuel gets turned into my plastic and rubber production. I miss my hover pack. Go. Okay, that takes care of that. And I think I have a solution for what I need to do. I'm just gonna crate the hell out of all my space elevator parts so I can go unlock everything. That'll fix the issue I had with... I'm going to have with flow rates. Okay, power's all hooked up, the belts are ran, the pipes are ran. I have an idea. Who says I can't have more than one blueprint designer, right? Making sister blueprints, I'll make a sister blueprint designer. It's that simple. Alright, place the blueprint in the exact right orientation I need to. Now we're going to take these refineries and place them in the opposite orientation that I need to. And get some right here. Places that right there. That places that like that. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the flooring holes here because I'm not putting the flooring or the walls in this. I don't include those in my blueprints. I will put those as I build the factory. What the hell? Build this in a straight fashion. There we go. Perfect. Hey, come on. The hell did I delete just now? Must have deleted the wire, I guess. Alright. Color got copied, right? Cool. I need to color these before I forget. Alright. That's the sister template. That's done. Cool. Nope, can't climb the ladders. That's alright. I don't need to climb the ladders. This is... This is right. Okay, designers are out of the way. I now have an idea of what I'm doing. I'm not doing any of this bullshit. We're gonna put rubber, rubber. Yeah, this is the direction it goes. Okay. Because, yeah, I'm having rubber come out this way. That's perfect. That's plenty of room. I've got just enough room to run my mergers right in front of those. Okay. And I even have room to walk. Heck yeah. Actually, I lied. I still have plenty of room. Yeah, my mergers can go right in between those, right? Yes, they can. Awesome. Now we're gonna change this to my default pipe color. As, yeah. I should have added wall holes, is what I should have done. I don't think I could have with the blueprinter, just because of how close I'm making it to the edge of it. It's fine. I need to place 5 of those. I don't remember which blueprint I placed. Sure as hell wasn't that one. What was this one? Perfect. 2. Three. 4. I need more space. And 5. Perfect. They're all perfectly lined up. There's no big, huge gaps, which means I placed them in the right spots. Sweet. So that's 5. Now, do I really want to turn this around just for the other one to be in the opposite direction? I think I ended up making a sister blueprint for no reason. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as this. Yeah, I'm going to just do it like this. Two. 3. 4. Oh, you're gonna be like down on this one, huh? 5. Next line. I'm so adding this as a footpath to keep me from falling in the water, even if I don't actually need it. This is the actual end of the factory. So there's plenty of a water gap all the way around. Nice little moat. There we go. There we go. It's 2. 3. Four. And 5. Okay. Shaping up pretty nicely so far. That's another 45 refineries placed. Shit. All of this rubber is going this direction to be recycled instantly. All of this fuel is going to go right next door. No, sorry. All of this, with the exception of just what's right here, what's right here is going to come over here into petroleum coke production. Everything else gets turned into fuel. Just period. This is going to be fun because I'm going to have to use refineries for now and hope like hell that I have enough fuel production, just brute forcing it. We're using the residual fuel recipe, which takes 60 a minute to make 40 fuel. Okay. 3600. 5720. 45.3. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just say 45 to be on the conservative side. That's 1800 fuel. Is that enough to run? Survey says not even close. Maybe. Nope, not even close. I need 2600 fuel. I'm only getting 1800. It'll be enough to limp along, though, and that's all that matters. Yeah, it'll be enough to limp it along, boy. Yeah. Man. And what I'm gonna have to boot up my other file to get an idea of how big blenders are. If I remember right, they take up a 2x2 size square, almost exactly. Or it's a 2.5 by 2.5. I think it's a 2.5 by 2.5. All right. That's a roadblock that I need to solve before I can really continue. I'm gonna need a lot of trial and error for that. Is what I'm gonna have to do is make a temporary fuel production in the middle of my factory that I can then later tear down and put a proper fuel production to get the factory operating properly. So I need to build around it everything that I need to, but at the same time leave enough space to build larger if necessary. So on my main file, I'm going to kind of build a mock-up of this and place out my 56 blenders that I'm going to have. And go from there. Yeah, 55 blenders. I'll place out a mock-up for my 55 blenders to get an idea of how big the footprint is, and then I will just shove all of my fuel refineries into that space. And if I don't end up having enough room physically for all of them without overclocking, I will overclock them. That's what I'll end up doing. Okay. Make some notes. Sorry, just making notes here. What was it 40 a minute as comes out as? It comes out at 40 a minute. Jesus, 18.13. So 1800 fuel. If I loop, I need 2600. I'd only need 1300. That would give me an excess of fuel that I can then burn in a fuel power plant to keep that going. Because I need that polymer resin to flow 100%. Okay. Alright. I think that's a solid stop point. I ran into a wall for right now, and I really don't feel like climbing over it without some further talking points on it. I have to work through, so we're gonna go ahead and just call it good for today. And I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have it figured out by then, and we can continue on with the Spacey project. See ya, everyone.